Hello to all you guys out there in YouTube land. Yes, it's me, DR, and I've seen lots of people who just kind of leave their front door and just take off and go running, and they don't necessarily think about the ramifications of what they're doing. So what am I on about specifically? So if you've ever been to a sporting event early, you'll see the athletes out there doing certain things. The topic of this video is about what they're doing when they're out there early and why. So cue the intro. The topic of this video is warm-ups. The purpose of warm-ups, why we do them, what they're functionally for. And I've been asked to comment and give my thoughts about this, so I thought I would just put this together and post this out there. So to give you an idea about warm-ups, there's loads of content about there, but I'll try and be as quick and as clear as I possibly can. So what is the purpose of a warm-up? Well, the purpose of the warm-up is to get yourself both mentally and physically prepared for whatever activity you're about to do. Warming up is about increasing that heart rate and therefore the blood flow, which enables more oxygen to reach your muscles. So as we said, warming up helps get the oxygen to the muscles, to the relevant body parts that are going to help you perform that physical activity. Warming up also increases that body temperature. It gets you, as it says, warmed up. And that really helps reduce the chance of injury and damage to your body. That increased blood flow as well starts getting fuel to your muscles, starting getting fuel and importing nutrients to the parts of the body that are going to start working. So it's getting your body ready to do that physical activity. Also, you become a bit more efficient because you're warming up, you're getting the body ready for the physical activity. It starts loosening muscles up, starts getting everything prepared to move, which actually starts increasing the efficiency and the power of the muscles that you're going to start using and recruiting for that activity. Also, warming up prepares that cardiovascular system, the breathing in and out, gets it ready for exercise, getting it ready for moving and whatever activity you're about to do. And that's really important as well. It means your heart, your blood vessels, they start getting ready for that physical motion. So it's all about preparing your body. It's a bit like when you get in the car for the first time and you start the engine. Everything's cold, nothing's moving, you're starting the engine. If you start pumping that accelerator down and really pushing it, you're going to start damaging the car. The car needs time to get the oil around all of the pistons. It needs all time to get that petrol moving in so it can be really efficient. Your body needs the same thing. So the people who go out without warming up, you're actually not preparing your body for that exercise. You're going to end up resulting in a experience that might feel harder and more difficult than if you actually engage that time to warm yourself up. I get asked this a lot. How do I warm my body up? Now there's various different ways, but it's really dependent on the physical activity that you're going to be engaging. Also, it's about what type of activity you're thinking about doing. So, warming up for, say, a running activity might be very different than warming up for, say, playing sport like football. There might be some recruiting of the same muscles, but your warm-up might be very different in terms of how you would engage those muscles. Also, as runners, something we need to really think about is what type of session are we warming up for? So, for example, if we're warming up for a tempo session, our warm-up might feel very different than if we're warming up for an easy run somewhere. And that's something we really as runners need to consider. What activity are we doing? What specificity of activity is happening and how we're engaging with that activity? So we need to be very careful and conscious about how we warm up. So let's talk specifically about running now. So a warm-up for running, and especially something like an easy run, might even start off with some easy walking. Just walking it out. Why? Because we're recruiting those leg muscles, we're recruiting the arm movement, and we're slowly moving into it and allowing that heart rate to steadily increase upwards. It wouldn't involve something explosive because we're not going to be moving explosively. So it's just nice and steady incremental growth up to the point where we might then move into a jog, and that jog might turn into our run. So we're steadily increasing that heart rate over time. That warm-up might be something like 5 to 10 minutes, getting yourself ready for that activity. So you might end up spending 2 minutes in a slow walk, 2 minutes in a slow jog, 1 minute slightly quicker, watching that heart rate steadily go up until now you're ready for that activity. For something like a tempo session, you might actually do some dynamic stretching. One rule of thumb that I really adhere to, and this is just from me to anyone else, I'm not a physician, but static stretching within that warm-up is something I try and avoid. So static stretching is stretching and holding those muscle poses. So the traditional stretches that you see in films and movies. For me, dynamic stretching, that's probably better for you in that warm-up stage. Dynamic stretching is more about moving the muscles, moving the legs in a more active motion. So we're not holding poses, we're not holding movements, we're moving our legs through like a leg sweep, something like that. So over to you. I'm keen to understand what you think about warming up and what warm-ups work for you. So, comments in the doobly-doo. This is DR saying enjoy your warm-ups and peace out. Have a safe journey wherever you're heading. Bye!